to start thinking in a way that's much different to what you do when you're under the regular grind. I think the second thing is that you have to accept that you're going to be taking a large amount of risk. I haven't had a stable income for the last 5 years, but the reality is that every time my credit card starts getting maxed out, something strange happens. Like I got streetcast into a television ad that paid me royalties for 3 years, for example. So once you start getting to the position where you don't care too much about the potential downside, which is a luxury that you have in your 20s, but probably not too long after that, opportunities start to present themselves that you never ever thought were possible. And this is something that, unfortunately, I see a lot of my old friends from university who can't take this step, who aren't able to invest themselves in something that is a risk because they've got a job that is incredibly stable and easy and they're not happy in, but they aren't able to then take the jump and do something else because they now get paid far too much. I think that the next thing is that, yes, you're going to be taking risks, but you're also going to fail. You are going to max out your credit card and you're going to put yourself in a position where you're not sure where the funds are going to come from. But as I've said before, failure is a really good thing. It's what teaches you what you're doing wrong as well as what you're doing right. So it's important to accept that failure is something that is necessary, but it's something that you need to do very, very quickly. Because if you draw failure out, it takes you 2 years to get there, and then you fail, you've just lost 2 years of your life. The next thing, and again, this comes to our mentors and a whole bunch of other stuff, is that you never ever want to burn a bridge. This is really important when it comes to building a network of amazing supporters who will do crazy things for you. You always want to make sure that you're doing just as much for someone else as what they are for you. And you never want to put someone in a position where they feel manipulated or used, because it's just a horrible way of going about doing anything. And it's incredible when you need a problem solved, who comes out of your network and helps you to do that. So it's so important to never burn your bridges. Which brings me to point 5, which is that you should definitely burn your bridges. Because there comes a point in time where you need to actually burn your bridges so that it's not possible to go back and take the easy road out. And this is, I think there's a great story about a warrior who sailed 11 ships into battle, and they landed on the shores and everyone unloaded from the ships in order to go and fight this battle that they were bound to lose. And as soon as they stepped onto the shore, he burnt all of the ships. And that changed the game, because all of a sudden these warriors knew that they were no longer fighting with the option of going home. They had to win, otherwise they were going to die. And they won that battle. So it's really important to burn your bridges at the right time. The next thing is to talk about your ideas. A lot of people, or not a lot of people, some people can be really guarded with what they're thinking about and what they see as an exciting opportunity. And this is a horrible experience to be on the receiving side of. But also on top of that, it's something that if you're not talking about your ideas, there's a lot of missed opportunities where people will come out of the woodwork and say, well, I know how to solve that problem that you're working on. So talking about your ideas is just a great way of starting to have or accelerate the spontaneity or the potential possibility of solving a solution without meaning to. 7 is to really follow your passion. And you can see this through my kind of trajectory where I found things that weren't quite right, and as a result I turned them down to then keep on exploring what my passion was and eventually finding something that I absolutely love doing. But I think that 7 needs to come with 8, which is to let your passion follow you. Because sometimes you're not quite sure what the right next step is. And the reality is that if you go and study something that you didn't even know existed previously, 5 years down the track, you realize that that is the love of your life and that's what you want to do for the rest of your life. So yes, you should follow your passion when you know what it is and it's clear, but sometimes you actually need to do things that don't seem like the logical next step in order to let your passion follow you. 9 is that every time someone tells you you can't do that, and you're going to get told this in Australia in particular, that needs to be something that says, you know what, I'm going to prove you wrong. This is something that can be done and you just can't see the way to do it. And that's what I think a lot of entrepreneurs have, this drive to to do the impossible and to show that something that people haven't previously thought was possible can be done. And that's, I think, a really important lesson to have. And probably the most important is number 10, which is just to have fun. Because the reality is that this is the most important thing in life. And life isn't about making money or anything else besides ensuring that you enjoy yourself. And if you can follow your passion and find something that you truly love, then it's possible to have fun and do all of the other good stuff as well. So that's it. Thank you very much, guys. It's been